came over, so we appreciate you for this. You know what I'm saying? But our job is to come out and wake our people up. Our people being the Israelites. The Israelites consist of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I say so-called because that's not who we are. That is a label that was put on us by the other nations. We run with it, and we have adapted or adopted it, and we have stamped it on ourselves, and we continue to run with it. We call ourselves African Americans, blacks, Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. We label ourselves with the things that they put on us, and we run with it. And we don't know what those terms even mean. African American, for instance, do you know what that means or where it came from? That was a term that was coined in the 80s by Jesse Jackson. You know who that is? He was a brother that tried to run for president, but he coined that term African American. And from that point on, we have been labeling ourselves African American. But what were we before that? They called us colored, Negroes, Afro American, African American. All these different terms are over time, our nationality, who we are called, changes. But according to the Bible, we are the Israelites. You don't hear that term too often. You might hear it and think of so-called white man. You think of something you see in a movie. But according to Bible prophecy, through the scriptures, we understand that we are the Israelites. And I can prove that to you. And I just want to borrow some of your time to wake you up or to make you think about some of the things that you go through in life to give you answers to. Some of the things that you might not understand, but through the words of the Most High God, He's going to give you understanding. Because all things happen for a reason, and He is in control of all things. And the reason why you were walking around the park today, and the reason why we sitting up right here is for this exact moment. Because He controls all things. I'm going to show you. Proverbs 20 and 24 right quick. Proverbs 20 and 24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
Of who?
Of the Lord.
Man's goings are of the Lord. Mankind. Wherever man go, it's of the Lord. So you walking around the park, you might have been thinking, I'm going to get some exercise. We might have think, hey, we just coming out here to teach. But we came out here with a reason to teach His people. And you came out here exercising, but He direct your steps. Let me get that as well.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, and verse number 1. The preparation of the heart is in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Skipping down to verse 9. A man's heart deviseth his way.
A man's heart. Woman's heart as well. Heart is devised, he thinking, or we thinking we doing our own thing. Read.
But the Lord,
but who?
But the Lord directeth his steps.
He direct all things. So you coming out here, we coming out here. It was meant to be because the Lord did these things. But one reason to give you the understanding that you've been seeking. I know you got questions. We've all had questions. Why do we go through the things that we go through? Why am I struggling in life? Why are my people on the bottom of society, even though we great at every damn thing that you can think of? Why are we on the bottom? Why are we killing each other day in and day out? Why my household destroyed? Why am I struggling? Why are we struggling to get jobs, to take care of our families? Why are we doped up, strung out? Why don't we have anything? Where are our businesses? Where is our land? Where is this? Why don't we have these things? Everybody else got something, but we don't. These are the questions that our people ask. So we constantly seek for understanding, for truth. But the truth is in the Bible. We get John 8:32. We get Psalms 119, 142.
Book of John, chapter 8, and verse number 32. And ye shall know the truth.
And what?
And ye shall know the truth.
And what?
And the truth shall make you free.
The truth is going to set us free. The truth is that we are special, chosen. Deuteronomy 76, we are chosen. We as a nation of people, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're not like everybody else. But it's a reason why we so good, so special, great looking, great at everything, but we on the bottom. It's a reason for that, and I'm going to get to that.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
Yeah, what?
Hath chosen thee.
Chose us, read.
To be a special people.
What?
To be a special people.
A special people.
Unto himself.
Unto himself.
Above all people.
What you say?
Above all people.
You see that? He said, I'm choosing y'all out of 18 different nations of people. I'm choosing y'all. And I'm going to make y'all special above all the other nations. He's told us that, read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, a lot of our people will hear that and say, nah, we equal. We just alike. Everybody, the sun shines on everybody. Everybody bleeds red. Love is blind. The Lord said, I chose you to be special, holy, different, peculiar, unto himself, above all nations. So how is it that we here in this society trying to fit in, trying to be equal, holding hands, marching down the streets for our lives to matter? Because we don't know who we are. We have fallen from a high status to being trodden down underfoot. Everybody's walking all over us today. We don't know who the hell we are, what's going on. And it's a reason behind it. Like we just read, the Lord chose us as a nation of people to be great, to be above everybody. But in choosing us, he made us great and he gave us something to live by. But we rejected it. We're going to get to that as well. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse number 1. And it reads, these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who?
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
To all Israel. Once again, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We were the same people that was with Moses when he came, when he saved us, rescued us out of Egypt, and went through the Red Sea. We are those same people. So he took us out to the in the wilderness, and he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to live by. Now give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he's giving us a choice in life. You know, life is about choices, right? He's giving us a choice. This is the first choice. Read.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
All his commandments. If we continue to listen and apply the commandments, read.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
On what?
On high.
On high. He already chose us to be above everybody, but he said if you keep my commandments, my judgments, my statutes, I will set us as a nation on high. Read.
Above all nations.
Oh, again?
Above all nations.
See that?
Of the earth.
Above everybody. If we were to do what, sis? Keep his what? His commandments. All praise you paying attention. Now we're going to see the other side of that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Future prophecy. But this is part 2, or the other side of that coin. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken.
If we will what?
If thou wilt not hearken.
If we do not hearken.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
Now what you see on TV every night, when you see your brother, your people getting gunned down, locked up, that's a curse. When you see our households destroyed, no father in the household, those are curses. When we destroyed in our own neighborhoods where we don't have any businesses. You can't name not one of our businesses that is nationwide or worldwide. But you can name plenty of the other nations' business. McDonald's is everywhere. Damn churches, Burger King, they everywhere. McDonald's is worldwide. We as a nation of people don't have that. We barely got businesses here in Birmingham that stay longer than 5 years. McDonald's been thriving for I don't know how long. But those are part of the curses that apply to our people. Slavery, did you know that that was biblical? It's biblical. That's a curse that was put on our people. Being where we don't have any banks, that's a curse. It said that we would be the tail and the people around us would be the head if we did not keep the commandments. These are curses put on our people for not keeping his commandments. Because life is about choices, as we already explained earlier. Keep the commandments, you be blessed. You break the commandments, you are cursed. Let's get Deuteronomy 30 and 19, and I'm going to bring that out right next.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse number 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day.
This is Moses speaking to the children of Israel before he passed. Read.
To record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
What?
Life and death.
Life and death. Read.
Blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
What did he say?
Therefore, choose life.
Choose life. How many times have we went into the church, in our own homes, school, job? Have they ever told us to choose life? Keeping the commandments. They've never told us these things. They don't even tell us that we Israelites. So they trying to do something, or something has happened where we are on the bottom of society, not knowing who we are, what we are supposed to be doing. And we wonder why we walking around blind and killing each other. Something happened. Something happened. Obviously, we didn't keep the commandments. We were cursed. Therefore, we are living in a society built on lies, built on our backs, because we don't know truth. What is truth? Bring it out. Psalms 119, 142.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142.
Uh-huh.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness,
Uh-huh.
and thy law.
And what?
And thy law.
And the laws of God is what?
Is the truth.
Is the truth. That's our truth. Sirach 17:11. Our lifestyle is about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We are a lawless people here in captivity. Being brought over here on them slave ships years ago, that only happened to us. You can't name another nation of people that went through those curses, who were put on the bottom of cargo slave ships and shipped all around the world. You're not going to find another nation on this planet. Daniel 9 and 13. Just to prove it.
Sirach chapter 17, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Besides this,
Besides what?
besides this,
Uh-huh.
he gave them knowledge
Knowledge.
and the law of life
The laws of life
for inheritance.
for a heritage. What's a heritage, sis? A heritage is a way of being. You know what I'm saying? How you dress, what you eat, your feast days or your high holy days, how you talk, your language, your land, everything revolves around your heritage. Now, when you think of the so-called Chinese, man, do they have a heritage? What do they eat with that everybody knows? Chopsticks. That's not a custom that we do. We can learn it, but that's not our custom. That's not part of our heritage. You know what I'm saying? They do the yin and the yang. They do karate, things of that nature. That's not our custom. Even though we can do it, that's not what we're known for. That's part of their heritage. What language do they speak? Mandarin. They speak Chinese. That's their language. That's part of their heritage. That's not us. So everybody has a heritage. But our heritage is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. But we don't know what they are because we don't open the Bible and we don't read. And when we do read, we thinking of this guy. That's the image that's in our head when we open the Bible. Therefore, we think everybody in the Bible looks just like this. We don't see ourselves in it. Before you seen this today, did you think that this was Christ? What did he look like then? You see that? That should be
Unknown.
Huh?
Unknown.
Unknown. Did you know that his description, what he looked like, and what his father looks like, and what his people look like, is actually defined in the Bible? Nobody speaks of it. All these churches that's on every corner teaching every Sunday, they open it up and explain to the people who are the Israelites. Everybody just going in there getting a feel-good speech and not getting them any answers to their problems. I come in there, my family is in disarray, dysfunctional. What can I go to church and learn to fix it? They just say, hey, if you want a blessing, put the money in the plate. God is looking for you to bless you. But it depends on how much you want to be blessed, what you put in this pot. You leave out of there less money in your pocket, but you ain't got an answer to your problem. But this is the instruction manual. What they say, the Bible stands for basic instruction before leaving earth. So this is supposed to be your manual to teach you, to guide you on how to deal with everything. But if they don't open it up, and if we don't open it up, how can we learn anything? We don't even know that this book is about us. This is our history book. It speaks about the other nation, but it's written to us, the Israelites, the nation of Israel, which are 12 tribes deep. You got 12 tribes that make up one nation of people. Check it out. Where do you see yourself on this sign? Would you be from the West Indies? Would you be from Haiti? Would your father be a so-called Mexican, a Puerto Rican? Or would he be an African American? Your father African American? Now, more than likely, not saying it's permanent, but more than likely, he would be from the tribe of Judah. Appreciate it, King. He would be from the tribe of Judah. That's the head tribe of the nation of Israel. That's also the same tribe that Christ came out of, Yahweh came out of. And that's written in the Bible. But they never speak of these things. Before I came into this understanding, I didn't want to read it. I thought it was these folks' books. I thought it was all fairy tales and myth. I believed in the Most High. I believed in God. I believed in His Son. But before I actually had this understanding, I thought it was all white folks in it. That's being honest. I didn't have any understanding. Why? Because nobody broke it down to me or explained anything in it. So I would just believe in anything I seen on the TV or that the pastor said. Even though he only opened the book maybe 3 times the whole 3 hours I'm in there. But I never had any understanding. Today is your day to get the understanding. Today you learn that you are from the nation of Israel.
That's right.
Today you realize you have a heritage. Right. Today you learn that you are supposed to be keeping laws, statutes, and commandments for your good, for your prolonging of life, to build upon your life and others of your nation. Today you learn that you are in captivity, and they tell you that you're free. The Lord tell you, let me get Micah chapter 2, verse 2. Micah 2, verse 2.
Book of Micah.
Or is it Micah 2 and 10? 2 and 10, 2 and 10.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10.
Yeah.
Arise ye, and depart, for this is not your rest.
This is not our resting place. We cannot thrive here in this society when we got to go to our enemies to get everything. But we don't own anything, we got to go to our enemies. That's what the Lord said. Let me get that curse as well. But the Lord said we got to go to our enemies in want of all things. If we want toilet paper, guess what? We got to go to our enemy. That brother fishing right there, he had to go to his enemy to get that fishing rod.
And the bait.
And the bait. He had to go to our enemies to get this tent. The Lord said, for you not keeping my commandments as a nation, you will be cursed. And one of those curses would be you will have to serve your enemy in want of all things. Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Now, today's society will say you don't have enemies. Everybody's good. It's love, it's peace. You don't have no enemy. The Lord telling you, the creator of the heaven and earth is telling you, you have enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
Which who shall send?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord sent them enemies against us for us being disobedient, rebellious against His commandments, doing what He tells us to do. We are being punished right now. That's why these things happen. That's why we went into captivity. A punishment. Read it again from the top.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read.
In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
In hunger. Got to serve our enemies. We don't own any grocery store. We don't own these restaurants. And even if we do own a chicken spot, we still got to go to our enemies to get that chicken. So we said we're going to have to serve our enemies in want of all things. In hunger. Read.
And in thirst.
In thirst. Water fall from the sky. Do we have to pay for that water? Who you pay your water bill to? To them, to your enemy. You don't pay them to people that look like you. You pay your water bill to those who had you in captivity, who had you on them slave ships, who were selling our people on auction blocks. We don't?
And in nakedness. And in want of all things.
And in nakedness. So, in the clothes that we wear, we got to go to our enemy. Go to their store. They got the textiles. They got the raw materials. We got to go to them for everything. Sewing machine. If we wanted to make our own clothes, we still got to go to them. For the threads, still got to go to them. We got to go to our enemies in want of all things. Read.
And in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron.
He shall what?
And he shall put a yoke of
A
iron
yoke of iron.
upon thy neck.
Uh-huh.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he has destroyed us. They kept us in them chains and shackles with yokes of iron around our necks until they had destroyed us mentally. Then they let us leave the planet, or said slavery was so-called over with. You understand? Kept those yokes of iron upon our neck till we were destroyed as a nation of people. Mentally, where we didn't no longer understand who we were, who our God was, what we were supposed to be doing. Till they figured out that we no longer would fight against them. Then they would take the yokes of iron off our necks. This only happened to one nation of people. I'm gonna show you. Bring that out in Daniel right quick. 9 and 13.
Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
As it is written. The curses. Go ahead.
As it is written in the law of Moses. All this evil.
All this what?
All this evil.
All this evil. Go ahead.
Is come upon us.
Not everybody, but us. Read.
Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth.
Go up to verse 12 right quick.
The book of Daniel chapter 9 verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us.
Against us? Why did he speak against us, sis? Why did the Lord speak against his people? We didn't keep what? His commandments. Read it again.
The book of Daniel chapter 9 verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges, that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven,
under the whole earth, under the sky. Read.
For under the whole heaven hath not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
Unto Jerusalem. That's where we from. It ain't been done to nobody else but us. These curses. That's why they give us a month to show us every year this is what we did to you. But nobody ever asked the question why. Now you know. Because we did not keep the commandments. The Lord said, I'm going to curse my people. I'm going to punish my people for not keeping my commandments. My simple commandments. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to send you on slavery, on slave ships. I'm going to have your people hung up and burned alive. Right. I'm going to have your people where they burning, kicking your door in and pulling your kids out of your house at 2:30 in the morning, Emmett Till. The other nations where they're going to deal hatefully with you. Let me get Leviticus 26 and 17.
Yeah, I got to go. I actually got to go to work. I was trying to work out before I go to work.
Let me give you a flyer.
Okay.
Come in to work real quick, brother.
Who are we as a nation of people, sis?
I'm sorry?
Who are we as a nation of people?
Take this card with you.
Who are we?
Israelites.
All praise. Now, why did we get cursed?
Because we didn't follow the commandments.
All praises. So what should we be doing?
Following his
commandments. All praises. All praises. All
right.
All right, sis. All praises for the Lord.
All praises to the Lord for that.